What's up, awesome family? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and welcome back to another lit reaction video. I know every time I'm starting to have different hoodies, but until my hair gets done, you're not seeing my hair. But before we get started, thank you guys for tuning in today, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the family, because you already know we the littest in the game. Now, before we get any further with this video, shout out to Dragon Slayer, and you can hear the rest of my mind. Thank you, Dragon Slayer, for subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. Hopefully this shout out will give you more subscribers in the future. And if you want a shout out, all you got to do is comment on my newest video, and then you automatically get a shout out. And I'm out. Yep, let's get straight into this video. Okay, so yeah, today we're going to be reacting to not one, but two horror animated stories, and this is about McDonald's horror stories. I don't know how this is scary, but we about to tune in, alright? So tune in, strap your seatbelt on, and let's get a blanket too, because you might be cold. Let go.
I'm not sure if this is the creepiest or the most disgusting thing to ever happen to me, but here it is. I'm a 17-year-old female, and this happened about 3 months ago. Me and my friends always liked to go to McDonald's after we had a good yoga session. You could call us regulars. We probably did yoga together 2 or 3 times a week, and it wasn't a class or anything. It was just me and 3 of my friends. We had another friend, Olivia, who occasionally joined us, but she was kind of flaky. If she didn't feel like doing yoga that day, we just went ahead and did it without her. We had been in this routine for a couple of weeks at this point, and we always looked forward to getting some nice junk food. There was something about McDonald's that was like the guilty pleasure of my entire existence. I normally didn't get it otherwise, but I really look forward to the couple of occasions that me and my friends went there. But this one experience, that I started to recognize the people that work there. I normally didn't get it otherwise.
Can we talk about how bootleg that McDonald's sign is? Like, y'all could have tried harder than that. Y'all could have called it anything else, but that sign, we not about to ignore that sign is that bootleg. Like, y'all didn't even try. Y'all can animate humans, but y'all can't animate a McDonald's sign. Come on. That's the shape of their nose.
But I really look forward to the couple of occasions that me and my friends went there. But this one experience was horrible. I had been there enough that I started to recognize the people that work there. I never had conversations with them, but I knew their faces well enough to spot when someone new was in the back working. That's exactly what happened this one Wednesday afternoon. I noticed this guy with really thin hair. He had a really creepy face, and I'm not sure how to describe it exactly. His eyes were...
Bro, he looks like a monkey. He has a unibrow. Why would you want to eat from a person or eat from a place that has a person with a unibrow? That's sus thing number one. That's sus thing number one. He's a sus. Now, let's go on with this video. I'm not going to say too much, but that's it. Take that. Alright, come on.
Humongous. They look like the eyes of a bug. And then he had this really strange body language that always kind of freaked me out. It was like jumpy or something.
Monkey.
If he was deep frying French fries, for example, he would stand perfectly still for a second, and then really quickly submerge them in one motion, and it would splash grease all over. This was very unusual, considering I had seen enough people put down fries that there was an easier way he could have done that. He didn't have to splash it like that. I was watching him one day, and we made eye contact. It was really unusual, too, because I was looking at him as my mom's credit card was processing to pay for my meal. He had his back turned toward me. I was trying to figure out if I knew who he was, and then he just spun around to look at me, and it was all in one motion.
Oh my god. Bro, did that dude even have a neck? Hold up, let me see if I can turn it around. Hold up. No. I guess I'm just basic like other people. Say, no, I'm not basic. I'm weird. Like, I don't know why I'm weird, but Let's just get back into this reaction video.
It was just really freaky. So I started noticing him more and more. He was always working whenever my friends and I got finished with our yoga. It didn't bother me too much. My friends also noticed how weird he was and told me about similar experiences. It wasn't creepy enough that we stopped going or anything, but it was certainly enough to notice.
Y'all must really like McDonald's to be going to it like that.
I remember the day in particular. It was a weekend because I didn't have school that day. Me and my friends had just finished a really good yoga session and we headed over to McDonald's. Anyway, my friends and I ordered our food and we're waiting for a few minutes.
Sorry for pausing a lot, but y'all must have fast metabolism for y'all to be going to McDonald's like every other day or something like that. But y'all, I'm pretty sure nobody likes McDonald's except for Karen, because you gotta respect it, drip Karen. But other than that, I don't think nobody else likes McDonald's as much as y'all. But if they do, then that's just them. I mean, that's them. They can stick with that.
It took a little bit longer than usual, which isn't really an issue because we're not impatient or anything. But here was the weird part. They weren't busy. We were basically the only people in there waiting for food, and I think they had one other person who had already ordered who was sitting down and already eating. I didn't see any cars in the drive-thru, and I just found the whole situation extremely bizarre.
Bootleg!
I'd noticed that the creepy guy was working, but I didn't see him for a very long time. He went behind a wall that I couldn't see him around, and I wasn't sure why he did this either.
He's stalking you.
Life went on, and we got our food and sat down.
Bootleg.
I normally start by eating my fries, and then have whatever my main meal is after that.
You got some bootleg fries, some bootleg chicken nuggets, some bootleg cheeseburger, and you got a bootleg person stalking you, and you still going to McDonald's. Like, you must really be addicted. I'm pretty sure no fast food restaurant is that good. Like, that, what's the word I'm looking for? That is, I don't know what to call it. It's, I don't,
Today it happens to be chicken nuggets. I got a 10-piece. As I was eating, I felt that creepy guy's watchful eyes looming over us. I felt really freaked out, and I convinced my friends to take our meal into the car to leave. As we left, I looked back to see him frowning at me. I didn't stop walking. Well, we got out there, and for a few minutes, I felt like I was being paranoid, and I overreacted. My friends thought so too.
The only thing you should be paranoid about is that body, because you need to get back in the gym. You need to just stop doing yoga. You can be as flexible as you want, but get back in that gym, because that lump is uneven. Like, you got 2 lumps in one place. Come on now.
Looked at my chicken nuggets. I looked inside of the box they were in, and they seemed to be covered in some kind of weird substance. I couldn't quite make it out, and I didn't know what to think. My immediate reaction was that they had put mayonnaise on it or something. Thankfully, I was smart enough to ask my friends before I took a bite. My one friend screamed, "That freak jizzed on your nuggets." The more I analyzed this strange substance on my chicken nuggets, the more convinced I became that it really was, in fact, that. That certainly explains why it... Bite. My one friend screamed, "That freak jizzed on your nuggets." The more I analyzed this strange substance on my chicken nuggets, the more convinced I became that it really was, in fact, that. That certainly explains why it had taken so long for us to get our food. I didn't quite understand.
Why is you still looking at it? Throw the thing away. You acting like you finna eat that. You're nasty.
Understand how he was able to pull it off, though. He was one of at least 5 other workers there. It's not like they would have just allowed him to do this, right? Whatever the case may have been, I didn't feel comfortable eating those chicken nuggets, and I threw them out without hesitation.
Who would?
My friends and I were all really freaked out that this had happened to us.
Sorry, you guys, but who would eat them chicken nuggets after you know what done happened to them? Who would? Because I would've. Like, come on. I would've. Dipped. I'm not eating them chicken nuggets today. Not today. Not today.
My friends threw out the rest of their food just to be on the safe side. We weren't really sure if we should have reported this incident to the police or something. We really didn't know what to do. We just kind of laughed it off as being one of those crazy life experiences, and that was it. I haven't gone back to McDonald's since this whole experience.
Okay, first, get that bootleg McDonald's together. Second, y'all just laughed that off. Like, if you wouldn't have seen that, you would have ate that. And y'all just laughed it all as a life experience. Ha, 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 ha. Until it's all funny and games until somebody... Hold up, should I? Yeah, it's all funny games until somebody... I killed that. Hey, but for real though, get that bootleg McDonald's together because it's really bothering me. Like, y'all can do better.
But yeah, that's the story of how I ordered chicken nuggets one time, and the freaky guy working there put his secret sauce.
You gotta lose this guy.
Who is it?
Doesn't matter. He'll kill both of us. Promise.
On them.
Alright, you guys, so that was story 1, okay? That was a little... We just laughed it off as a life experience. Not to a disgusting experience, but as a life experience. But that was story 1, and we about to go on to story number 2.
Okay. I don't think you guys are even going to believe this story, but it's 100% true. Just happened last week.
You know what I believe? That you need to get this part in my face because it just... Yeah. Let me stop. Oh my God, look at them eyebrows.
I don't know how else I could even preface this dumpster fire of a story, but here it goes. I'm a 22-year-old male and I live with my fiancée. We had a nice apartment, but we were really looking to buy a house. I know, a little young for that, but we both landed really nice jobs after college and figured that it's better to get it out of the way now and start settling down. We're kind of old-fashioned like that. My fiancé's grandmother owns a home and no one lives in it. She had it for about a year since a family relative passed away. No one wanted anything to do with it since there was a lot of work that needed to be done, like painting the walls and redoing the floors and just various tasks like that. It wasn't completely horrible inside, but there was enough work that it literally sat there for a good little while. Well, my fiancée and I started talking to her grandmother after buying the place. She told us that she would sell it to us for a low enough price that we would be able to afford all of the renovations and whatnot. We were really excited about it. It was really exciting to think we were going to have purchased our first home together so shortly after graduating from college.
Y'all is not that happy over a house, first of all. Second of all, oh my God, those smiles creep me out. Third of all, cringe. Y'all, why would y'all want a house? I understand that y'all miss that family member. I don't know who family member it was, but living in a house, you must really love that family member. That's all I gotta say.
But here was the problem. She had a lot of people in her family who started feeling left out. It was my fiancé's aunt and her 2 sons.
Bro, he looked like a jelly donut. Oh my God, bro. What is that? Can men be pregnant? Because he proven to me that men can, like, I never saw that shape. And then y'all see the bottom, I'm about to circle it. Y'all see the bottom? Just tucked it right in, buddy. And the other one, he looked fine. He looked straight. Straight.
Their father had died shortly after the second son was born, and the mother had a hard time coping with everything.
They're brothers?
She was a regular drinker and arguably an alcoholic. My fiancé told me that they were extremely negative people, and after meeting them a few times at family functions, I was surprised at how right she was. They lived in government housing. She collected disability fraudulently, and her two sons didn't work, despite one being 24 and the other being 19.
He finna break that.
There were whispers of drug abuse in there, too. Suffice to...
That's what his brother is built like. I didn't know what it was, but that is what his brother is built like. And his brother was finna break that chair like that. Let's not pretend that he wasn't about to break that chair. Like, that chair was creak, 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 boom. Go down, big fella.
Know that these were not the kind of people he wanted to associate with. When word got out that we were buying the house from her grandma, they started feeling really left out. There were a few occasions where they'd try offering to watch the house, very obviously an attempt to get in there and do God only knows what. We politely declined and did everything we could to avoid them. I happened to be at the house one day. My fiancée was working and I work remotely online, so I was home alone. I had just walked down the street to buy a lemonade when I saw someone at her house. It was extremely unexpected. I got ready to confront a potential burglar when I noticed it was my fiancé's cousin trying to break in. He was startled when he saw me and froze for a minute. I asked him what he was doing and he...
Bro, you know what he doing? Trying to fit in that house and steal all your food.
told me something about thinking he saw a car he didn't recognize in the driveway. I explained that it was my car, and he left without any big confrontation. As he walked away, though, I heard him start cursing under his breath. This was the point when I started feeling like we had something to worry about. Not feeling safe inside your own home is the worst feeling ever, especially being two young recent college graduates. We both worked really hard to make this happen, and the idea that it made us feel unsafe there really bothered us. I still didn't even understand what they wanted out of the whole ordeal. They didn't have enough money to afford the property tax alone. Forget about utilities and anything else. About 2 weeks went by without any kind of confrontation. I had falsely convinced myself that they'd finally leave us alone. I was dead wrong. We went to McDonald's one day, exactly 1 week ago today, the day I'm writing this. Me and my fiancé both just wanted to be out of the house for a little while. Considering we were in the process of buying a house, we didn't want to go eat anywhere expensive, so McDonald's just seemed like a logical decision. Now, before I continue, I feel the need to explain something about my fiancé and I. We are normally very serious people. We work very hard and we're both kind of workaholics, but when we get together to have some fun, we go hard. Work hard, play hard, right? Well, we got kind of silly when we played. Let me cut to the chase. We were both playing in the ball pit at our local McDonald's. We always enjoyed goofing off like that, and we weren't too concerned with what people would think of us. We'd only been messing around for 5 minutes when her cousin showed up at McDonald's too. It was creepy. He walked right in, looked at us the entire time. Before he even opened the front door, his eyes were stuck on us, and they felt heavy. My fiancée immediately knew something was wrong when my facial expression changed and she darted around to see what I was looking at. We both watched as her cousin made his way out to the ball pit. He stepped outside. As he walked, he moved his body to grab something out of his pocket. I couldn't see what it was, but my first thought was a gun or a knife. The look in his eyes told me he was out to do serious harm. He jumped into the ball pit in my direction. I luckily landed one solid punch in his face as he came down. It threw him off. I had an advantage. He kicked me in the stomach, but I landed a few more punches on his face. He started screaming for me to stop and that I was killing him. I would have kept going if my fiancée hadn't been watching. He started this, not me. We got out of the ball pit. He then began telling us that he was going to press charges on me for assaulting him. I wasn't even fazed by this. There were plenty of witnesses there that had seen the whole thing transpire. I started telling him that I was calling the cops and I was going to press charges on him. He got really panicked and ran back to his car and drove off. I'm not going to lie to you. This whole thing really shook me up. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to do. I looked around online and found an easy solution. A restraining order. My fiancée and I had both gotten restraining orders on her aunt and her 2 cousins. I didn't know why we didn't think of this sooner. It really solved the issue, and once they understood that we had a restraining order against them...
I don't know why I do so much random stuff. It's just, this story crazy. Big fella jumped in the pool and he said... Like, when you land those perfect hits, you feel so good about yourself.
They buggered right off. I haven't seen or heard from them since. And thankfully, and hopefully, that's the end of my story.
$1 float to the art.
Shut up. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Thank you guys for tuning in to today's reaction video. But make sure to click the subscribe button because it's $0.99. Like, it's 3.0000000. So, you know, it's 0.000000 cents. So it's free. I mean, if you don't have no money, then you can still do it. I mean, if you got money, then you can still do it. But thank you guys for tuning in to today's reaction video. I really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe, comment, and like. Big shout out to Dragon Slayer. And I forgot the other person's name, but it will be on the screen somewhere, hopefully. Yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. And in the meantime, you know what to do. Stay awesome. Finish my video out, you guys. I messed up while editing. But in the meantime, you know what to do. Stay awesome, be awesome, embrace awesome, and live awesome. Peace.